order free electricity metering and installation for homes across the country. It's a nationwide free meter installation program, and they have mandated that this will happen for 500,000 homes, which is for the 500,000 newly imported smart meters. Now, this effort, according to the government, is intensified so that it can deliver these meters and help the power sector. It, however, has issued out a warning to distribution companies against extorting consumers. Now, we might need to ask questions around how do we get these meters? How do they come in? What is the process like? What has been the earlier arrangement? Hopefully, we'll find out all of that today on the show. The Minister for Power, Adebayo Adelabu, was the person who made it very clear when he was on an inspection visit in Lagos. Specifically, he went to inspect the first batch of the smart meters at the APM terminal in Apapa. The meters were procured under the World Bank funded Distribution Sector Recovery Program. So it wasn't like the federal government bought it. Let's get that clear. But the government is saying that it's hoping that installation and distribution will be followed strictly and complied with accordingly. So is this free installation thing only supposed to be for the 500,000 smart meters that is procured under the World Bank funded distribution? It is very important that we get these things clear so people do not make mistakes and assume out of context. And that is why we will be speaking with my guest this morning on the show. My guest is no other than Innocent Lord Douglas. And he's been very, he's been very frequent on the show. Beyond that, I'm hopeful that he would give us more insight into what DisCos think. We know that the idea has been rejected already. The power distribution companies have said that it's not possible. Prepaid meters being coming distributed free of charge and installed will be difficult. But we'll find out what he thinks. My guest is the Deputy General Secretary of a labor union and also the Senior Staff Association of Electricity and Allied Companies. Hello, Mr. Douglas. Good morning.
Good morning, Ifiemi. Good morning, River State. Good morning, Nigeria.
All right. Just to confirm, I think you emerged as the new chairman for, is it the TUC?
The State Public Relation Officer.
Okay.
TUC.
Okay. All right.
River State Sampson.
Just to be sure that we got that correctly.
Yes.
Okay. Congratulations on that one again. Quickly then, this talk around meters, free meters, and free installation. Because I was going through it and I found out that it's actually a special program that was funded by the World Bank. And that is where we get this 500,000 meters that the government has been talking about. So please clarify for us. Is it only for that particular program, or is the government saying that going forward, if anybody wants a meter, it will be free and installation will be free?
Thank you very much for bringing this up. It has really been a worrying situation since the minister made this proclamation. And it has become a very big threat to my members that work in an electricity company, not only in PHED that covers the whole first state of the South, but also in other DisCos, like the Benin DisCos, Enugu DisCos, Kaduna DisCos, and many others. Our members have suddenly become a target to consumers or customers, as the case may be. Federal government, via the minister, announced free meter and free installation. Our area of a discussion may be mostly on installation. Because for a very long while, we have noticed that the DisCos are already giving prepaid 3 meters, more especially to Bank A. But now, this statement is purely for this program, which is this World Bank assisted program that is coming up with this 500,000 meters. There is a metering program that they call MAP, Metering Access Program, where people pay and get. But with the information I have, after the minister have made this statement, localizing it in PHD, which is the company or this code that affects us directly, they have already issued as a statement that this meters that are coming from the federal government under this World Bank sponsored program is going to be free, and they have as well started distribution. Installation is going to be free.
But then the minister's comment didn't sound as though it was only going to be limited to those particular 500,000 meters. Well, you're clarifying now that this is what it is. This is what he meant, and this is what it is. But is it possible that by chance he was in any way also trying to say that going forward, meters should be distributed free of charge and installed free of charge?
No. It may not be practically possible.
Why?
First of all, among the reactions I got, DisCos are questioning how did you get the statistics of 5 million people? They are the stakeholders in this industry. And coming and say we have 5 million. Is this 500,000 meters going to cover for this 5 billion? I have tried to see if I could get the number out of this 500,000 meters that is coming to PHD or PHD. And when we say PHD, we are talking about the 4 states.
Oh, okay. Oh, in other words, they are sharing the 500 meters across all the DisCos in the country.
Of course.
So, which means, for instance, PHD can get, let's say, 50,000 meters, and you would have to share those 50,000 meters across the 4 states.
Good. PHD has already, with the information I have received, but I couldn't get the number that has been given to PHD. And they have as well commenced distribution. But you know that it is impossible to start distributing haphazardly everywhere under their operational network. What the company is going to do, which I know they have done, is to set up an area through which they are going to amicably distribute this meter.
Okay.
What that means is that the meter allocated to them wouldn't go or get to every household that needs a meter. Firstly, in their plan, they have considered to start metering people in Bank A and Bank B for a start. When those ones are being fully metered, they can now come down to Bank C and D for accountability's sake. And you know that DisCos are divided into regions. They will also know which region have more of Bank A. Why would they focus more on Bank A and Bank B? Because these are the banks that have legal implications. And these are the banks that the DisCos are suffering huge losses. Most of these banks, consumers, have all bypassed their meters or does not even pay. On that note, DisCos are incurring many or much losses. So they are focusing to meter these people. After then, they can come down. But the truth remains that it may be practically impossible to meter every household with the allocation that is going to get to PhD using them as an instance. Secondly, some years ago, a minister came up and stopped DisCos from distribution of meters, and allied companies stands up, which resulted to meter installers. Meters installers are not our union members. We have done so many things to see how to coordinate these installers. It has not worked because they are all casual workers in their company, and by law, you can't unionize casual workers. Now, who pays these installers? That is where the DisCos are reacting. Installers are not part of the DisCos. What DisCos does is to give a supervisory role and direction on where meters are going to be given and make sure they are done well. The installers company knows how they get their money from federal government. Our problem now is, or one of our major issues now, that we don't know how to contend with. If a minister goes out and says, give this meter free, good. Don't pay the installers. And the installers are saying, nobody has given us money to pay. There may be a friction, delay in installing these meters. A project that has a good intention but may suffer because of bad planning.
So, in other words, as we go on a quick break, when we come back, we're asking, you're trying to say DisCos are not even the ones in charge of installing meters. That's one point you've made now. You only decide which areas the installation should be done. And then there's a different association that handles installation.
Sure.
Okay. After the break, when we come back. And another thing, you've said that this free installation and free meter is only for the 500,000 meters procured under the World Bank program.
Yes.
Okay. After the break, would go. You tell us what it entails to get a meter, if outside this World Bank procured meters, what it takes to get a meter, who produces the meter, who is in charge of even manufacturing or producing or buying these meters, bringing them into the country. After the break, stay on the line for us. Mr. Lord Douglas is with us on the show this morning. Hello, sir. Thank you for staying on the line.
Thank you.
All right. And before we went on that break, you were talking about how workers, electricity workers, and allied companies have also been concerned about the comments of the minister with regards to free meter, free installation. You said quite a lot. For those of us who missed it, you can watch the whole thing again on Facebook so you can catch up. We don't have all the time to go back to all of those. But you made a few points that are very valid and addressed some of the questions. However, I would like you to, before we take questions from the listener, what is the process of getting a meter? I'm talking getting a meter not from the World Bank sponsored 500,000 distribution that's supposed to be free. I'm talking if I want to get a meter, what do I need to do?
It's very easy. Walk up to any PhD office within your location. An account will be opened for you, and immediately a form will be given to the person, or I think request for meter is done online now, and the person will apply, and the moment it is approved, you will be directed to a bank to go and pay. You do that all by yourself without giving anybody any money. And the moment you take that money and it confirms, in the next 1 week, 7 days, or higher, 14 days, a meter will be installed in your house. It's as simple as that.
Who produces the meter? Is the meter stored? Is it the meter? Is it something that is it owned by DisCos? How do you get the meters?
No, it's not owned by DisCos. As I said, there are other franchise companies that are in charge. But of course, they are working in DisCos network. So they have a relationship. You get the forms or the processes from the DisCo, and DisCo forward it to the people, the company that you have choices to make. There are about six metering companies, franchise companies in DisCo. As I'm PhD, about 6 different meter distributors in PhD. So while you're filling the form, you can make a choice on any of the vendors that you so desire, and their price also varies with a little differences. So that form or whatever you did will be sent to that company, and money will be paid to that company, and the company will go and install the meter. How they settle with PhD is their own local matter. It's a franchise company, and they know that because the company cannot go into a network that does not belong to them and effectively deliver a job. So there's this symbiotic relationship between all these companies and PhD. But the meters are not owned by PhD. And PhD are not those that install. They have a metering department, sure, but their metering department is to oversee, supervise, and also make sure that these meters, while installed, they are not being bypassed. Because when the meters are bypassed, it's not the company that installed the meter that suffers. It's the company DisCos that own the energy that the energy that is passing through the meter that are suffering. They are the ones that are incurring the losses. So they have people they call the OPD that goes around checking the meters and that. That is the symbiotic relationship the DisCo have with
Okay. Another quick question. Because you've heard people say that only landlords can go and get meters for a house. Can a tenant in a house go and get a meter for himself, for his flat or her flat alone?
Some landlords are very, very, very difficult to handle. Ordinarily, one of the infrastructures you are supposed to keep in your house for a tenant to comfortably or peaceably stay there as the law defines it is the third meter. But some landlords don't do that. And you will see now that some areas, let's assume Bank A area, they pay 209 naira per unit of energy times the number of energy that is being supplied to them. At the time, you see some persons paying as high as 60,000 a month, I tie at 70,000 a month, depending on the number of energy. And the cost of meter is 125,000. So why will I, as a tenant, because my landlord refuse to give me a meter, why will I be paying 80,000 naira per month to the distribution company on estimated bill? Because I'm waiting for landlord to install meter. What I will do is to go use the money that I'm supposed to pay for 2 months to DisCos on estimated bill and incur a meter for myself and live peaceably in my house.
So does that mean that the meter will be registered in your name? Because people have the meter will be registered in the landlord's name. So if the tenant gets a meter for himself or herself and then they come install it on their own flat, if they are leaving that place, they can remove their meter, carry it, and go and install in another place they move to.
This is a very sensitive question that we have dealt with over years. If you move into a house that is already wired, that is already installed with power, it means that there is an account that has been opened in that fee. The account, the name of the landlord. So when you are getting a meter, you are not opening another account. You are going to use that existing account. More so, if we also advise tenants, because these meters are not transferable. You cannot take a meter from here to another place. So you cannot register a meter with your name.
Then there's a problem if you can't sort that out, because if I'm the one paying, not my landlord paying, I'm living in the flat. Isn't there a way we have conversations where the meter becomes like you have BVN that's particular to you? It becomes my property after buying it. And then it registers how much power I consume wherever I'm living. Because from what you've said, technically you've discouraged people to purchase meters in compounds where their landlord have refused to purchase meters for them. If they know that it's going to be in the name of the landlord and they can't transfer it to another place they are moving to.
Arithmetically, it is more than what we are talking about. We are not talking about the ownership of the meter. We are talking about the amount that I as a tenant is paying.
Exactly the point. So if I as a tenant living in point A, I lived there for 5 years, I'm using this meter, and now I'm moving to point B, it is still me that's going to use this. This meter should now carry my details. That's what I'm trying to explain. Shouldn't that meter carry my information? So if I move to another place, it is still what I'm consuming there that would be, it's just like a bank account. Let me put it that way. No matter where I go, my bank account should be going, is mine, is going with me. Whatever I'm doing, transactions are being recorded to my name in my bank. If we have the meters function that way, would it not be better and easier for people to get it and use it? As against having to wait for their landlords.
When we're using orthodox meter, somebody can steal a meter here and go and plant it in another place and it works. The moment a prepaid meter or sensitive meter was introduced, we stopped hearing or noticing that meter theft. That is one benefit. But we also believe where my emphasis is, it's not mainly on meter. What if I'm living here and the next place I'm going, there is a meter installed? How am I going to carry this along? Let's assume the landlord of the new place I'm going has already installed meter, and I'm taking away the one that I have from where I paid. It's not a property that.
The point then would be, I'm just suggesting, the point then would be that landlords do not have to now be installing meters for tenants. Tenants can get their own meters for themselves. That's what the ideal, that's what the situation would be now, because if we design the meters in a manner where they operate that way, then what it would mean is landlords will not have the duty of registering in their name, in their property, and putting the meters there, and then people come and live. And all of this, the system would then have to be altered and redesigned. Just suggesting.
What it also means is that I can come to your compound and fill your meter and take it to my place and it will work.
No, it would not work now, because the people who would design it would have to look at, okay, how can we make this particular to a person? You can't steal my bank account and use it. You steal my... The system will show you that, oh, this, that. There has to be a way. I'm just saying, if we have meetings with those companies who design or produce these meters, we have to go beyond where we are now. We have to think futuristic and see how we can make it more comfortable and easy for people to use these meters. Just say.
You have a point. But let me tell you how it works outside Nigeria. What we should be doing or thinking is, how do we encourage government to continue in what they are doing in providing this meter and meter all the houses, so that wouldn't be part of the luggages that the tenant is going to carry along. Outside this country, you go and you move into a house. All you bother of is how you are going to pay your bill, not how your bill will be processed. That is the standard practice outside Nigeria. It's only Nigeria, or Nigeria is one of the only countries that we can come and we are talking about how we are going to buy a meter. That is not supposed to happen, because that meter is not your meter. You don't own it. It's the company's own. It's their property. Nobody owns a meter. It's not part of our luggages, what we carry along. It's companies. There is a law that the moment you implant a transformer in an area and put it into the grid, that transformer immediately ceases to be a personal transformer. It becomes that of the government or the company. So meter is part of that. So the government to make sure all the houses are metered. So let me tell you why it has become a threat to our people. Yesterday or day before yesterday, somebody got this information, and the person called me and said, "Look, I paid for meter, meter access provider, which is payable, which people are still paying, because those that are not within the area that this World Bank sponsored metering program is covering, that need meter, still have to pay and get it. This person paid a meter some days ago, and now hearing this, he is calling me. He's going to the office to get a refund of his money. The federal government says meter is free. This is one of the confusion.
He's going back to get his money from the company, saying that.
Yes, he's going back to the company where he filled his form and payment. He's going back to tell them to give him a refund. The federal government says the meters are free. So this is from the statement that was not properly analyzed is given. That is why, when we encourage what the minister has said, we also have a caveat. Things like this have to go down well to the understanding of the consumers, because Nigerians are suffering. They are paying so much in energy. They are paying so much in water.
All right.
They are paying so much in gold.
Mr. Douglas.
Any little leverage, Nigeria will grab it with two hands.
All right, let's go to the phone lines now. 0817-923-0002, 0817-923-0003, and 0817-923-0007. Again, 0817-923-0002, 0817-923-0003, and 0817-923-0007. All of those are numbers that you can call to get through to us. We spent 158,000 naira for the installation of new meters to our block of 6 flats 2 weeks ago. We bought wires worth 110,000 and 48,000 naira. That is 8K per flat for the connection. 20 Ife. The wires and all of those things. For this free meter, the wires, does it include wires? If the wires are you going to buy wires, or for the installation of these free meters that are coming, 500,000 free meters? Is it?
Let me make another clarification that will help this come in page. Let me tell you another area where these installers mostly demand money. The what we call separation, let me define it. If you live in a compound that has about 8 flats, and all of the flats uses 1 meter, and now, because of the policy of the sector based on prepaid metering, it is said that every household has to own a meter. At that point, a meter is coming, 8 meters is coming to this compound. This compound is already wired for 1 meter that they've been using over years. That's what they call separation. Though the DisCos or the companies are saying it, before we get there to come and give you meter, call your local electrician to do this separation, whereby you are going to get a metering point for each of these buildings, But if you allow the installers to come, you are giving them a job that is outside their job. The installers first have to do what you call electrification separation. They are going to get you to buy a wire, your own wire, who different from the wire we are going to use to install. They are going to buy a wire that they are going to do separation, putting metering points in each of these buildings or rooms or houses or flats.
Okay.
When that is done, then you are going to buy your cutout. You are going to buy this data. Then again, the consumer will say, they're asking me to pay more. But this is separation. This is purely what your local electrician can do.
Okay. So the advice is for people in that category, get your local electrician to fix all these things and have them ready so that when the installers come, their job will be just to install the meter and leave.
Yes.
Okay. Nigeria Info, good morning. Hello, good morning, Nigeria Info.
Hello, yeah, good morning.
Good morning. Your name, please, and where
My
you're calling
favorite
from.
brother in the temple of the press, Ifiemi Andrew.
Yeah, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And good morning to our guests.
Thank you very
Yeah, my question goes like this. Your emphasis on band A, band B, band C, band D, band E. Now, sometimes ago, the people of Choba protested that they should be removed from either band B, band C, band D to band A. And now, you say people on band A, they pay about 200 and something per unit. I want to find out what about people in band B, band C, or band D?
Okay.
How much do they pay per unit?
Thank you. One more call, and then my guest to respond to both questions at once. Nigerian, for your name and where you're calling from. Good morning. Yes.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Go on.
Okay. Please, my name is Heidi, and I'm calling from Port Harcourt.
Okay.
Okay, I think part of what your guest there is saying that I reasoned with is that, for example, as a tenant, yes, I'm paying for a meter in landlord's name, but I am living in that place for like 2-3 years, and I've bought a meter, and within 3 weeks or 3 months or 4 months, I've regained what I'm supposed to have spent, what I've spent on the meter instead of paying estimated bill. And for the remaining 2.5 years, I'm paying what is normal. I think I've done myself a good. Although it won't be fair that I will leave my meter for the landlord.
For the landlord, exactly.
Yes, that's one. Number two is that the meter, I observed that the one I bought some years back, PhD was paying me back gradually, the one I paid for. They did not install it freely. There is an amount they were crediting me gradually. When there was a time something happened, I went there, they printed my account, and that was explained to me, and I was observing it in my recharging. So gradually, people who are being paid for, I don't know if it's all,
Okay.
but the ones that were purchased that you paid for. But those that they install freely, I don't think they were giving anything.
All right. Thank you very much. One more call. Nigerian for good morning.
Yeah, Andrew, good morning.
Yes, JJ, straight to the point, please.
Yeah, thank you very much. Let me greet your guest. I have listened to him from beginning, and he talked about band A, that they have legal agreements. Oh, they need to give them more light because if they don't give them certain time, they will sue them and all those put together. Don't you think, too, we deserve to sue you people? Because many a times I've discovered that the money you make is from those who are on estimated billing. Because whether you bring light or you don't bring go, so you just shut those people out and focus on the brand. Are we not all Nigerians? Are we not all created by God as equal people? Now you have segregated everybody, pushed to the one you love and the one you hate, you make money from. Things are not done.
But JJ, it's not the PhD. Thank you, JJ. But it's not the PhD that introduced band A, band B now.
Are they not the ones that brought it?
No. They aren't now.
Nah, them, we know. Andrew, don't you know you are the Nigerian info we know?
Is it? Now then we know. Okay, thank you. Because of the time, let's get your response. Somebody says, please, how do we access this free meter for those who just built a new house. My guest said, Sandy, my guest said that they've delivered some to PhD, but they've not, it doesn't have the information of how many came. But the whole 500,000 is not only for PhD. It has to be shared across the country. So PhD might get 20,000 or 10,000 or 5,000 or 50,000, depending. And then they would have to share that one that they got to the 4 states that they cover. And so you can only imagine how many can get to a person. But let's see how it goes. Quickly, the first question from the first caller about the Choba protest and the cost for Band A and Band B.
I don't have a very good information about the Choba protest.
No, I think what he wanted to know basically is that they said one of the demands is they said they seldomly get power, so they want to be removed and they want to join Band A service. They should be removed and taken to Band A. So he says you have said Band A is about 200 and something naira for yes, a kilowatt. So what is the cost for Band B is what he's asking.
I may not. I think I can't remember now. But it's a code, and anybody that walks into PhD office can easily get it. Get that. We have PhD offices everywhere in this community. But
so there's no place anybody can access online to know how much a Band B person is paying.
It's as simple as that. Just go online and ask what is the ratio for how much is the Band B, Band C, Band D, and the number of energy they are supposed to
get per hour. And JJ said, can't Band C, D, and others also sue? Because you said Band A and B can sue because of what they pay. Can't Band C, D, and E also sue?
No. The legal edition does not cover them. Just imagine where Band B maybe is paying 56 naira per unit and per kilowatt, and Band A is paying 209 naira. You see the difference.
So, what is the official legal amount stipulated?
I don't have that information.
Okay.
But what I know is